Hi, my name is Adriel William, and today's video is for all the applicants who just got an invite from University of Tuft or are currently preparing for University of Tuft's upcoming interview. So I'll share with you some experience that I've been working with candidates who got accepted to University of Tuft. And back in 2019, when I got accepted at University of Colorado, I started making these videos and I started sharing my experience. I had one of the candidates who reached out to me for interview prep, and this was time of COVID. Dr. Nubat Siddiqui was the one, and I helped her with interview prep, and at that given time, she got accepted. And since then, I've been getting candidates every year for University of Tuft. So in the past years, during COVID, they were doing online interviews on Zoom. But then about 1 or 2 years ago, they started making it in person. So last year, there were students, and I did an interview of one who got accepted to University of Tuft, and he had his interview in person. But now, this year, there's a little bit of change. So what University of Tuft recently started is now they are asking all their candidates to do a Kira talent assessment before they do an in-person interview. Now, this is something I've been talking a lot. I made several videos about Kira talent assessment, what it is, why universities are doing it, and just to give you a brief observation about why dentist schools, more and more dentist schools have started to involve Kira talent assessment before they do an admission process or before they do an in-person interview. So let me explain this to you. Kira Talent Assessment is a company which does a remote interview for the dentist school. So what dentist school does, it write down some questions and give it to the software. They feed it to the software just like the Casper, just like the TOEFL. And what happens is that you turn on, like you start your exam, it will show you a question and then it will say you have 45 seconds to prepare for this question and then give you 2 minutes to record your answer. I have made detailed videos about this because NYU takes Kira Talent Assessment, USC take MMI, which is similar. Indiana University take Kira Talent Assessment, and most of these questions overlap. They will ask you about your community work. They can ask you about your leadership qualities, some teamwork, some time of difficulty. How do you manage stress? Some questions regarding these things. Now, the questions or the wordings can change. For example, there recently a question has been coming in a lot of schools that if your patient does not accept treatment plan, what will you do? So these kind of questions are expected in your Kira Talent Assessment at University of Tuft. But again, this is the first time they are doing. You might get a question which has never been asked before. So I would highly suggest to mentally prepare yourself. And the main thing in that is whatever question they give, you don't have to be you don't have to be an Einstein. You don't have to have a lot of knowledge and words and in-depth vocabulary to answer it. Just make sure that you do good communication, you look in the camera, and you stay within the limit time. So I will put the link in the description, and you can watch the other videos as well that will help you understand Kira Talent Assessment and what should you be expecting. Now, if you're finding this video useful, I would request you to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and just write in the comment box maybe a hi, or if you like this video, or if there's something you don't like, or if you want me to make certain videos regarding some university, just write it in the comment box. Now, coming back to University of Tuft interview. So this would be your Kira Talent Assessment, but then comes the in-person interview that they have been taking since the past couple of years. One thing that is very prominent about University of Tuft is their program director, Dr. Perry. The reason I'm mentioning his name in this video is because I've never met him in person, but I've heard a lot of good things about him. The most prominent thing that I get to hear that he's one of the smartest person you will ever come across. I had one candidate who went to University of Tuft for an interview, and he walked past her and said, "How was your birthday last week?" And that candidate went in awe and was amazed how did Dr. Perry remember her birthday. but that's the kind of intelligence he has. He would remember things. He will ask you things that you weren't expecting, like tell me something that you haven't written in your personal statement. But few of the things that I've learned from candidates in the past, from students, is that Dr. Perry is willing to teach people a lot as long as they are humble and teachable, and they have the mental capacity to be a good team player. So those are some of the things you want to keep in consideration. And my suggestion, if when you're dealing with somebody with such big experience of practical world and academic world, never try to lie to them or outsmart them. That's not a wise way to look at it. So make sure during your interview you consider these things. Now, for the rest of the part of University of Tuft, so you need to remember that Boston City has 3 dental schools. It has BU, Tufts, and Harvard. So this is one of the cities which has a lot of dental schools. But University of Tuft stands out. It's been investing a lot in Hispanic community, in research. It has been teaching digital dentistry. They have a mini residency where they teach people digital workflow. So that's a school which is very much invested. And one of the things I've learned from my past experience with candidates is that University of Tuft prefer people who have either lived in Boston or are living in Boston or worked in Boston or some kind of affiliation, because the school finds it easy, just like NYU, that if they give you admission, you would be able to move up there and live there and survive. One other pattern I've learned, that a lot of candidates in the past who got accepted, Hispanic candidates and even non-Hispanic, they worked in some kind of remote research with the faculty of Tufts. So if you're planning to apply to Tufts and you want to make your chances higher, make sure you try to do some research up there and reach out to the faculty of University of Tuft. Now, coming to the interview, the candidates who gave it last year told me that it was an in-person, just like a one-on-one interview. There was the faculty sitting up there and the candidate sitting on the other hand, and they asked questions like, tell me about yourself, your strength, your weakness, why do you want to pursue dentistry, why should we pick you as a candidate, why you want to come to Tuft. And these are pretty common questions. I made a lot of videos regarding these on my YouTube channel. You can watch it. Ethical scenarios that I posted, those should also help you for the Kira talent assessment. But one of the things I'll tell you that I've been doing since I've been working with candidates is that try to bring out something of a different side of yours which hasn't been mentioned in the resume. So for example, I had candidates who did 6 years of DDS in a country, then about 5 years of post-grad education after their DDS. So this is a lot of schooling. And when I'm preparing them for interview, I tell them the interviewer is already aware of your experience in dental school. You have a lot of experience in education. You have a lot of experience in dental school. And whenever they ask you, tell me about a teamwork, most probably you're going to give an example of the research work or some group project that you did. So you already are saying things that they are expecting of you. But this time, when I'm preparing you, let's explore other part of your life. Let's talk about your teamwork in sports, in polo, in maybe if you played basketball, maybe you did swimming. So let's explore other part of your personality, because I've seen people who are very good clinician, who have worked very hard in their clinical skills. They think of dentistry and this CAPIT process is just about dentistry. And to be honest, it's not. Because dentist schools, all of them are in US, are looking at people who understand the US dental system. They understand patient confidentiality. They understand the importance of HIPAA. They understand how team works kind of work. They understand how to communicate properly in dental schools, because communication is a big issue. There are very good dentists who come from India, Egypt, and other countries, but they don't know how to communicate and they don't write things or say things professionally, and dental school have trouble. So these are some things that the schools are looking very deeply, because they know you can make class 2, you can do a crown prep, but they are seeing if you can survive and work as a team in the school. So when you're giving your answers for this interview, when you're bringing out answers about your weakness, your failures, how to deal with stress, you want to give them example which shows that you're a well-rounded person who knows how to communicate in US and who is kind of assimilated in the system and won't give the school a headache for the next 2 years. Because the schools are looking for a candidate who will be a good student but also a good team player. Otherwise, that person is going to keep having issues with his peers, with his faculty, and keep giving them headache. So that's an area you must look into and work upon. But if you feel like you want one-on-one preparation sessions, you can reach out to me. I'm just going to share this with you because a lot of candidates reach out to me and I don't want to surprise people. I charge for my services and I'm expensive. I charge for the services I'm providing, especially when it comes to writing or when it comes to interview prep. But one of the things I know I'm making a very big claim up here, but I'm very confident about it, that currently right now, as many people I know who are preparing people for CAPID application and interviews, I think I can provide you the best insight and feedback and preparation tool for your interview prep. And that's an area I'm quite confident about. And hopefully I'll keep on making useful and meaningful content on YouTube. So you don't even have to pay anything and watch videos that can help you prepare for this process and your life after your dental school as well. So like the video and hopefully see you soon in a better video. Thank you.